why it's hard to leave a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gyms are not like most regular fitness gyms. Most places where you go to get fit, like a Planet Fitness or an LA Fitness or a Snap Fitness, you have a gym membership, you go and you do your workout, and sometimes you talk to people, but most of the time you just have your headphones in and you're doing your workout and then you leave. Occasionally, if you become a regular, you might get to know some people like the staff members or some people who are also regulars at the same time. Maybe you make some friends, but usually it's more of a solo endeavor. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is a solo sport. It's not like football or soccer where you have teammates. You're out there on your own when you're competing. But when you're training and when you're on the mats, your teammates, your partners, the people who are with you every single day, day in and day out, they're really forming a close, special bond with you. Because not only are you seeing people consistently day in and day out, you're doing the sport of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu that involves getting really close to people and help them get better, but you're also trusting them. You're trusting them to, if you have injuries, don't aggravate those injuries. When you get submissions, to be careful, be aware, let go when you feel a tap, and in fact go a little bit slower if you think you're about to apply a submission. And training in this way with people creates really close friendships. Even if you don't have a ton of conversations, oftentimes you'll build very close friendships with people. This is compounded if you've spent years at a gym. Not only do you have these close friendships, but you have consistent training partners, you have patterns that you're used to performing, you're used to the warm-ups, you're used to the culture of the gym, you're used to the environment. And usually you get super integrated into the environment to the point where it can become one of the primary ways of socializing as an adult. It's often hard to make friends as an adult. Maybe you can make them at work. Maybe you can make them, I don't know, at random meetups and get-togethers or events in the community. But it's hard to make friends as good as the friends you'll make in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because you have that level of trust. And on top of that, you're doing something difficult together. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is not an easy sport. And when you're facing adversity with other people willingly, when you are trying your hardest to get better with somebody, you're becoming a teammate and a partner, and usually a friend. And when it comes time to leave a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym, it's almost like you're giving up that whole community you've built. Especially if you move far away, it's just not quite the same at the new gym you go to. And of course, this is something you can build up over time, but it's really difficult to give up that community. And the cool thing about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is you can actually go into another gym and start building this community again. When you show up to train again at a new gym, say you moved, there's going to be a period where you don't really feel that welcome into the gym. Now, most places are really open and friendly and welcoming, but you are walking into an environment where people have already built up that rapport, those friendships, those connections, those relationships. And if you're coming from an old gym where you were really closely integrated into the community, it sort of feels like you're going to your step-parents' house. Like, sure, they're going to give you dinner, sure, they're going to try to support you, but you're still thinking about your old friends and your old coaches. And it's difficult to move on and start new relationships, build new connections at a gym. But there are also positives to it. You're going to be able to expand your horizons a little bit more and explore different styles of coaches. Oftentimes there will be something at this new gym that is better than the old gym. Maybe the people play a different style of game. There's always positives to it, but it's really hard to move on from a place that becomes such a core part of who you are. And maybe Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu sometimes gets tied in a little too far with identity, but It's certainly a really powerful tool for building community, and when you move on from that, it sort of feels like you moved on from a home. Maybe I'm just getting a little too emotional, but those are my thoughts on why it's hard to move on from a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu gym.